Hello, everyone. Welcome in umbraCoffee episode 253. Hello, Rune. It's been a while
Hello,
since you've joined
Marcin.
us, right?
It has been a few days.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Actually, starting to get into the Christmas spirit, which is unusually early for me, I would say. But the weather is just kind of Christmassy, and good vibes all around.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've realized that Christmas are coming. When you message me back, is it a Christmas episode already? Is it our tradition? Will I join as usual? I said yes, do not worry. And then I realized that the Christmas are really behind the corner, and yeah. But this time, this Friday, it's feeling like home. I didn't forget to click go live button. Hopefully, you are all live. We played the broadcast intro, but we lost one of the umbraCoffee baristas today. Where's Callum? Where's Callum?
Where is Callum?
No, for all of the fans, Callum is literally right now on Umbraco HQ, having sets of meetings out there and sharing also a new flashing sign that I haven't seen. You've probably seen it.
It's
as well.
very fancy. It's fun because I talked to Callum this morning and said, "What you're at HQ? I'm actually staying home because I'm joining umbraCoffee today."
Yeah, I was going to say that you've just missed each other.
Yeah. So
possible to join.
I live right next to the office, so I might pop by for a cup of coffee or a beer after we've talked. But we'll see.
Yeah, and of course, with some of you, we had a chance to high five and see each other on the events last week and also this week. There are some festivals happening, which we'll be mentioning of. But I wanted to share a really nice highlight because last week we had a live episode on Umbraco together in London. We've been, of course, we had some technical difficulties with the live stream being done in the different place than my home. But Joe Gombeck from Callum's team did a great job asking people for likes and subscribes for our channel. So it resulted in this peak of subscribers on our coffee channel. So we had it's literally easy to see when the live event's happening. So it was 18th November when we begged for subscribers. So it's worth it. We are doing well. So if you are not subscribing, please do like, subscribe, and this is the final call today for this episode. And we can move to the announcements from this week. As I've mentioned, there was a Umbraco Together festival last week. Some people summarized it with the really nice blog post, like Owen and a couple other attendees. It was great to see people in London. For all of those people who missed it, I don't know if it was mentioned anywhere, but there are recordings on Umbraco community YouTube channel, and I must say that I catched up on some of the videos already. And Rune, I don't know from your perspective, was there anything what you were interested in learning more from the agenda of the Umbraco Together or Umbraco TK Fest this year?
I only learned about the videos being up this morning, so I haven't had the chance to catch up on any of it yet. But I definitely will do. I am incredibly excited to see the block grid deep dive session. It's been very positively received, and that just makes me very happy because we've been working on the new block grid for a while, and I think it's fair to say that people were a little discombobulated in the beginning when they saw the first version of it. But with all the feedback we've gotten in from the release candidates, first for 10.3, which then it was postponed to Umbraco 11, and now it's something that people are just really excited to start using. And I think that's such a great journey for a feature like that.
Yeah, and I can just add to that because I was speaking with a couple teams this week, and this is becoming a kind of an argument towards upgrading to version 11 now. It's like some of them said, "Oh, but why we should upgrade?" There were some questions like this: why to upgrade to version 11? And this block grid editor is a thing. So now, if you want to go with the maybe more refreshed, more standard approach to work with grid using the blocks, version 11 is your friend. So that's a huge effort, and as we can even see by the amount of views, it's also probably right now one of the most watched and most interesting topic for people, especially for developers, for people who are building solutions, who are going to build solutions. That's a really nice summary, and I've been attending the talk in person, and it was really deep dive, very technical dive, and kudos to Ken's CSS skills as well. It was really nice to see him styling things out there. Videos are up. Everyone can watch it, and definitely.
Yeah, and I think the videos from the Umbraco DK Festival, which was yesterday,
yes,
they will also be up at some point. It was recorded, so, and Ken also did his talk there, and I think he had a little bit more time, so there's actually some extra stuff in that one. So there's something to look forward to there as well.
Yeah, and also Ken shared GitHub repo of the work with the demos literally 1 hour ago. So that's all on GitHub and YouTube. It will be also on YouTube. And I wanted to say also a highlight to DK Fest that was yesterday. Literally, there was a lot of great talks, a lot of good pictures and highlights from people attending the event. Callum also did a talk about Umbraco running everywhere, anywhere. So yeah, it seems like we are feeling full season, and there is a lot of people attending both events, so that's exciting.
It's amazing to see after the last 2 years. It's proper Umbraco Festival season again. It's just it's wonderful.
Even more squeezed now by the end of the year, because everyone wanted to do this festival now, and hopefully it will be more distributed next year, because we've been discussing before going live that I paused traveling for a while now because of the amount of travel. So maybe next year, if we will plan more efficiently, there will be an option for everyone to visit some of the festivals at least. But it's good to see them happening again, and let's keep it up.
Definitely.
So check it out if you missed anything from the event, or keep an eye also open, or subscribe buttons pressed on the Umbraco community channels and other channels to be informed about the recordings from the events. And Rune, we can jump to product update from your side. There is a lot of things happening, and there's a lot of things planned to happen. If you would if you would be asked to summarize it from your perspective by looking on the overview, tell us more about these updates. Tell us more about what's happening from the Umbraco product perspective.
Well, this is the thing. The product update is my summary of what's going on, right? So a 10-minute read, and then you know what's happening on the product side of things.
Let's move on to the next topic then.
No, I think it's we've shifted a little bit from doing it every 2 weeks to doing it every month. So that also means they get a little bit larger. But I actually think they are a bit more valuable in this sense. It is hard to keep up with all the blog posts that are coming out. So I think it's also nice that we make a little bit more space for everything that's going on in the community, right? And then give a monthly update. For this one, I think there's a couple of things to really highlight. I think the hardcore product update that you have there is really cool. We did one in the beginning of a year. I think we called it a product seminar, something like that. This time it's just a video product update. But we're really talking about all the new features that have come out for hardcore since Code Garden. A lot of them were announced or shown there, and they've all come out. And it's some really great stuff, especially the custom grid editors is fantastic. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I've seen it. We had the hardcore headless community team meeting, first of the series, and we've been informed about the updates coming to hardcore as well. And that was mentioned out there, but I haven't used it yet. But there are some people who are sharing their experiences right now with Umbraco Hardcore as a product, and these experiences are also evolving, changing, and there is a lot of. I think maybe you can confirm it also from your perspective, but it's a wider and better adoption to the product, since it's also becoming better with every possible release. So that's really great to see this, and Umbraco Hardcore is climbing through this headless spheres very well, and still might become a really natural choice to really go with Umbraco Hardcore, especially due to some complex needs or the infrastructure things that are offered straight from the software as a service offering, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I actually think it's a great product in the sense that, of course, it's based on Umbraco CMS. That's kind of what's running underneath. But it is a relatively new product, and pretty much all of the feature development and improvements that have been added have been done based on feedback from users. Morten and the rest of the headless team are really, really listening to the people who are using it. So I think it's all the things that have been launched are so valuable that it's just great to see. So I really like it.
I can only add that the headless topic became also a very hot topic amongst the Umbraco community. Finally, because there were a lot of people talking headless a lot in the past, but it was like, okay, yeah, cool, we will check it out. We might do something with this, but now it's becoming a thing, and now there is a lot of discussions about it, a lot of comparisons, a lot of also options that are coming back to CMS. We know that in the future we'll have some of this coming being ported back to the CMS, which is also making people more exposed to what's possible. And that's only something what can result in the better products for all the offerings, I believe. So that's
yeah,
awesome.
exactly. That goes for both cloud and hardcore. They really feed back into the CMS. Yep. So I think that's great. I can say, for example, I can say that there's a support for the tag editor coming to Blocklist and nested content very soon. That's also going to come to the CMS, and that's actually developed by the hardcore team. So they are really feeding stuff back into the CMS, which is really cool. Yeah.
Nice. So what's else? Forms updates as well.
I think the next 3 items are all about forms, and I think 2022 has been a lot about forms. There's been so many great releases.
Yeah, I can't remember the statistics, but on the Partner Summit, someone said that the number of releases of Umbraco Forms, I can't remember if it's from this year or is the bigger number than all the releases from the whole past of Umbraco Forms, right? Something like that. That's crazy. And again, it's seen from the outside as a huge fan of integrations and also Active Campaign in this case too. I was so happy to see this coming, and also Umbraco Forms as a stable product now, as an option to be just used, not blamed for anything. Now it's like it's great to see this, and again, huge kudos to the whole team and Andy and the rest of the guys who made it happen, right?
And it's not just new features. There's been a lot of new great features, but it's also a lot of polish to the product in general. A lot of fixes and stuff like that. So it's just improved massively. And as you said, a bunch of integrations have been launched for forms as well, and I really like this one, the payment provider integration.
Yes,
it's such a cool thing to have for small companies or smaller things where you just need to do one-off transactions. To be able to do that easily without a lot of setup I think that's pretty great for Umbraco in general. So and there's not a shop, but it's like easy transactions.
Yeah, and there's a whole blog post about this particular integration, and I've been reading it today before we catch up, and it's really nicely highlighted. Again, all the new things that are added are such also great covered with the documentation or the information that right now we can just read through it, see, okay, it's not that complicated to integrate this. We can use it. Should we use it? Make the decision, and it works. Which is also something what makes people happy. It's just installed, worked, and I can't remember which one of the other integrations were similar. Probably HubSpot, if I remember from the past. It was like, there was a package released connected to the HubSpot, and it just works. And also the great documentation, blog post highlighting what's possible with that. That's a new way of consuming things.
Exactly, and some of them have 2 packages released. Like the Active Campaign one has one for forms, for updating contact lists and things like that, and then one for the CMS for picking forms from Active Campaign as well. So it's really nice to see. And this is also kind of I think it's nice to highlight the CDXP composable DXP approach that was launched a couple of years back at Code Garden. But we can really start to see this come to fruition as well. The Suits department are working on a lot of strategic partnerships, tech partners, that then end up with these integrations and services that are easier to use with Umbraco and things like that. And it also makes it way more attracting to people who don't know Umbraco, being that you can use HubSpot and ActiveCampaign and things like that easily is a big win, I think.
And also the partnership team is growing on your side too, and
For sure.
I know that it's something maybe not known for a lot of people, but if we find the interesting tool to be integrated with Umbraco, we can reach out to the team.
Yeah.
And they're really taking it seriously. And I had a really good talks with the team members during the London visit as well. Like, oh, you helped us to check it out, this product. Oh, the clients are willing to integrate with this. Cool. We didn't know that something like this exists. So it needs to be open communication and two-way communication. And I know that your team is really looking for these ideas, because if, for example, ActiveCampaign or maybe ConvertKit will be mentioned 100 times from 100 different agencies, it will be a nice driver and nice motivation to really do something with this commercially, right?
Yeah.
So that's
and there's multiple more things on the roadmap already, but we're always interested in hearing new ideas and suggestions for that stuff.
So roadmap now then upcoming releases, a lot of things in aligned to the future. Of course, starting with Umbraco 11. So that's
indeed,
it's happening soon, next week, December 1st. That's crazy.
Yeah, less than a week on Thursday, December 1st. A little Christmas or holiday present. Umbraco 11 is, I mean, it's not a massive major upgrade in that sense. It of course has support for .NET 7, which has a ton of great new features, a lot of performance enhancements once again. So that's also that is a reason to upgrade to Umbraco 11, I think. But then there's also a few other things included in the release that I think are really important. We talked a little bit about block grid. I think that will be a massive driver for it. But just to mention, it's also coming to Umbraco 10. We haven't scheduled Umbraco 10.4 yet, but it will be available for the LTS version there as well. Tiny MCE has been updated, and then there's been further cleaning up of the architecture. A lot of things have been decoupled, and things that were deprecated earlier have now been removed. So it's just all around really nice, clean release, and it's looking to be a super easy upgrade as well, which is also what we strive for with these major releases. They are coming much faster, but they are way easier to upgrade to. Right? It's a little bit like some of the big miners that we had in the past,
Yeah, even less stressful probably sometimes, because here
for sure
almost every RC was a really nice release, which was heavily tested, and I know there's a lot of people looking at it as well. So and we've been testing some upgrades already to RCs, and it was very smooth. And recently we had also talks, if no one is limited with some policies to use only LTS versions, etc., there's nothing probably major stopping from upgrading just to 11 and just using it out of the box. So that's great. And there is a blog post, of course, about the release candidate, and there was a lot of discussions and also videos and highlights of what is inside of it. So everyone probably can keep an eye on this one and test and use upgrade as soon as possible.
And I think it's also important to highlight that we are on release candidate 5 now. So the release candidate period is extended a bit for the major versions, but it's also really being used. We receive so much great feedback, and there's been a lot of improvements and updates in the release, in the different releases there. It is running the final version of .NET 7 now, and the last one here has all the latest improvements to the grid. So all of what Ken showed off at the UK and DK events, you can get your hands on it today. Really great.
Nice. Yep. Other than that, documentation. So not only products, but also docs. And Sophie was here with Callum 2 weeks ago, demoing some of it. But yeah, it's been maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but it was very well received when it comes to the new functionalities of the docs. Of course, the search being more helpful, if that's the correct word, more helpful to find what we are really looking for. The more I would say, structure of the documentation. From my perspective, at least, it's more familiar with what we know from other products, right? Something what we
exactly
relate to more.
It's the thing is, it's not homebrew anymore. It's not something custom built for Umbraco documentation. We're using the Gitbook documentation platform. So I think, and a lot of people are using that or similar products. So it's a lot easier to navigate, especially for new people. But I think structure-wise, it'll also be very familiar to anyone who's used Umbraco documentation before. And then the documentation team has a better tool for maintaining and updating the documentation. While at the same time still keeping it open source. I actually think that's quite an achievement. So Sophie did a lot of work in investigating different platforms that could be used for documentation, and I think she's done a great job of landing on this solution.
Yeah, I agree, and especially that we all know how hard it is to keep documentation up to date, and generally how hard it is to update it, and how important it is from the other side, because lack of documentation might be seen as wrong documentation, or mistakes in the documentation are just breaking things generally. So big kudos here to the whole documentation team, and it was mentioned a lot already that it's a great asset, and we're looking forward to using it and also helping to make it better through open source contributions too. So there on December 1st there will be all the new documentation for Umbraco 10 Plus, cloud, add-ons. There's a lot of things that will be upgraded there. So we'll keep an eye on that one.
For sure.
And last but not least, another big thing. Tell us more about new Umbraco Marketplace. Then.
It's actually live already on marketplace.umbraco.com. You can go and see it there. You can also read there how to get your packages listed on the marketplace. I think it's looking really good. It is like there's a couple of different purposes with it. For one, it is using NuGet as a source of information, which makes a lot of sense since all packages are NuGet packages, right? So it means that there's less places to update information. And then an important part of it is also for the whole DXP landscape, we are incorporating tech partners and integrations that are not packages. They will also be visible when we launch it on December 1st. So you can kind of get the full overview of what's possible with Umbraco out of the box, or what you can expand it with at least.
Nice.
So I think it's looking really good.
I also seen that the package creators were aligning with Marketplace. There was some feedback on how to maybe even make it better already before it was even launched. So that's a good discussions always to see. We've been saying that it will also land in the Umbraco back office, right? As a dashboard screen. So everyone will be exposed and possible to be exposed to what's possible to be installed, and how Umbraco can be extended with the products out there. The rest is in the hands of package creators and everyone who wants to build something free or commercial to be installed with Umbraco. So that's another great tool to be used for this one.
And as Warren mentioned in the comments, it's part of Umbraco 11 as well. So when you go to the package section, you will actually see the marketplace there, which I think is really nice. And that's also the reason why we're launching it at the same time, because that's when it's incorporated in the Umbraco back office as well, right? So it's not just CMS release we're looking forward to, it's documentation, it's marketplace, it's a lot of cool things.
A lot of things, definitely to catch up as well and synchronize. And but it's looking very, very good. So we will definitely use it a lot. And a call to action for package creators to push packages with the proper markdown and elements to make it displayed and visible, because nothing is worse than package that cannot be found and still lying somewhere on the dark side of NuGet, and then just search through the Visual Studio or Rider. Just make it exposed and seen for users. And last but not least from this one is Umbraco Workflow, a big commercial package, of course, the successor of the Plumber acquisition. It's been also mentioned for gold partners in UK, like one of the next really nice offerings for after forms and deploy as an extension for Umbraco. And there's a lot of discussions recently about the content flows, approval flows, and it's all possible. A lot of people don't know that this is possible, and also a lot of people didn't even know about the Plumber as a package in the past. What surprised me, because of course we were mentioning and trying to also keep updates visible for everyone, but now it's official Umbraco release of Umbraco workflow, and yeah, everyone can also take a look and use it, and there's also a license cost attached to that. I don't know, I can't remember the details. Maybe you remember the details of costing of that, but it will be, and it's going to be available since December 7th, the week after release of Umbraco 11, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is ready. Release candidate is out there, and we try to be sensible and say marketplace documentation and Umbraco 11. That's enough for December 1st. So let's launch it a week after. But it is Plumber. So if you've seen that before, you'll see how wonderfully integrated it is into the back office and the whole content approval workflow side of things. And it's updated to the latest version, a ton of cleanup, and then some really great new features as well. So things like sending content items back in the workflow chain to a specific part of it. So not just sending it back to the first stage, but saying, I'm just going to send it back to the review person because they were the ones that had some things to change there or whatever. That's scheduled publishing. Ton of things in there. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've been discussing a lot. I've seen also a lot of custom implementations of semi workflows. Like whenever some refreshers or the information that content needs to be revisited after half a year, it's all possible here to be set. So that's amazing. And yeah, it's Nathan did a great job also documenting and creating this overview of what's there. So for all of those who don't know what Plumber or workflow, Umbraco workflow can do, be sure to check it out and install, test, and explore it.
Yeah, and another cool thing to mention is there's the option to configure hiding some of the configuration in the back office. If that and this has also this also came in Umbraco Forms 10.2, so they're also feeding into each other. But where you can actually say like this configuration option shouldn't ever be changed. So you can set that in your app settings. You can say this is the default value, for example, or just hide it entirely, make it read only, and things like that. I think that's great, really great functionality.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Roadmap updates quickly. Just what makes you the most excited, Rune, from the products and roadmap updates for the next or now phases?
I mean, I think the pre-installed packages on Umbraco Cloud is pretty exciting. I think that's exciting for a lot of package developers. It's yet another way to highlight what can be done with Umbraco, exposing packages at the install point of it, right? Which I think is really great. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
Yeah, we've been also discussing it a lot with the cloud team on how to be able to also promote our work across the cloud projects, and now it will be also possible to, for example, promote starter kits, build some even less or more commercial packages to be installed also with that one. So that's amazing, and I also
ties in nicely with. Yeah, it ties in nicely with the new marketplace work and CDXP approach and tech partners, and it all makes sense. I hope at least.
We'll all verify it and find it out because it's getting there, and of course after the webinars and seminars that you've done recently also in UK, there's a lot of great discussions on how to utilize cloud more and how to make it more useful for agencies too. So it's happening, and it's tightly coupled. So I really like this the way of doing it now. And there's a lot of exciting things from both development perspective, like entity framework from Umbraco CMS that was also mentioned a lot. A headless REST APIs that I've mentioned also today, and CI/CD integration for Umbraco Cloud, something what we've been highlighting as well as our teams, that we would need to have a custom repos, have it on our source control systems, and be able to use Umbraco Cloud as integration platform to then maybe take some advantages of the cloud features for the deployment between environments, etc. So that's really nice, and yeah, of course the rest is also to be defined. And you've mentioned CDXP, and there's a whole blog post from Jonas about it all, and also Jonas did presentations across the partners recently. So if anyone don't know what CDXP is or how to contribute or how to utilize the CDXP from the perspective of Umbraco agency developers or users, check out the Jonas post and be on top of that, because that's exactly highlighted and described very well from his perspective here.
And it's also highlighting the changes that will come to umbraco.com, where we currently have a marketplace. A little bit confusing now that we have a marketplace.umbraco.com and a umbraco.com/marketplace. That'll be fixed on December 1st. There will be a integrations and tech partner section on umbraco.com, and it's a way to expose things that aren't packages. Both the partners to have the tech partners to have their profiles there, but also integrations and services that you can install into Umbraco, but that fit in really well with Umbraco. Right? Nice. So they can also be highlighted there in the marketplace, in the CMS, and things like that. So really exciting. Good read.
Yeah, that seems like a very hot and dynamic December amongst the releases and changes from your side, and of course we'll be highlighting it every week. So that's we'll verify how it will be implemented, and definitely share it more often. So yeah, and if we are talking about December, we can now also jump to community activities around the December, starting from Secret Santa. I completely missed, to be honest, this announcement in the last weeks, maybe because of the travels and maybe less time spent on Twitter and community channels. But Secret Santa is back amongst the Umbraco community. And Rune, we can probably reveal that I received a Secret Santa from you last year. And this really
a little bit late, I think.
A little bit, but it was very nice, a nice gift, and I like the idea of Secret Santa. It makes us motivated, at least me motivated, to really share and find out the creativity to find this gift for the person that is matched. So if any of you, either if you participated or didn't participate in Umbraco Secret Santa initiative, if you want to, you still have time until December 5th to enter. And Steve and the whole team behind the Secret Santa is doing an amazing job to make it very inclusive and helpful for everyone.
Very smooth process for signing up and getting your Secret Santa signed and all of that stuff. So really, really well built, I think.
Yeah. And to say that for remote people, I want to mention it. Everything is possible, and I've been doing a lot of digital exchanges of products, a lot of vouchers, a lot of interesting creative also gifts that have been shared in the past. So we do not need to rely only on the postal services, and I say that in behalf of our not that great Polish postal service.
I think they forgot to remind to tell you that that your package was in the post office.
It was just lying there and waiting for maybe someone to randomly go there and ask if there's anything for me there. So, but it might be digital, might be distributed online. Just to say, right?
Ravi was my Secret Santa, so he sent me some really beautiful coffee cups. Nice. Also supposed to send me some coffee, but that got stuck in customs. I think it was sent back and forth 2 times between Denmark and the UK. Complicated by the whole Brexit situation, I'm sure, but it made it here in the end. So so everything is possible, I think.
everything, and coming back to the coffee topic, someone asked us because also on the last weeks we've made a limited edition of umbraCoffee. It was a 5th birthday edition, 50 limited boxes, and it was all with unique numbers. So
Ooh.
I personally signed it with the numbers. Every bag has a number, so people were sharing these numbers across to each other, and some of them already finished. And someone asked, "Can we sell it? Where's the merch store with the coffee?" And it's not easy.
I mean, I'm getting jealous now. I want umbraCoffee, not just a mug, but actual coffee.
There will be, I'm sure there will be some more occasions to make some future limited editions of umbraCoffee coffee. I don't have any more, but people were exchanging them. But it's not easy because coffee is treated as food amongst the EU
Exactly.
and general. So we cannot sell it without special licenses, etc. But someone suggested one really nice idea of making it grant or given just in exchange of some contributions or some coffees being bought through the Buy Me a Coffee, for example. It's an idea. We'll think about it maybe for the next year's ideas.
Otherwise, I can tell you there's a really great integration for Umbraco Forms that you handle one-off payment. So
we might check it out. We might check it out then. But yeah, Secret Santa is an opportunity to also exchange this kind of crazy ideas. So be sure to sign up if you want to have fun. And yeah, Corner said that he will be getting some Umbra Irish coffee when St. Patrick's Day next year.
That's a great idea.
So more ideas, send them. We will process them and do something with it sooner or later. So cool. Secret Santa, December. It's just behind the corner. Do not forget if you want to have fun and participate. And yeah, the link to the form and of course the rest of the links will be down below this video. So if you are watching, refresh the video after 15 minutes, maybe after the live stream, and it should be all there. Other than that, other opportunities to contribute, meetups, of course. I saw some pictures, really nice pictures of pizza and some really nice goodies from Swag Store on the umbraCo meetup that happened last week. But I took a look on the umbraCo meetups official page on meetup.com, and there are some really nice upcoming events, mostly related with the Christmas period already. So Christmas social in the Leeds group axe throwing and some other crazy ideas that Leeds meetup group will be doing there. London Christmas party. Of course, you've mentioned Ravi. Ravi is head of the Christmas quiz every year. I heard a lot of myths, a lot of information about this quiz. I haven't participated yet, but maybe one year.
I had the massive honor of participating a few years back, and it is an experience not to be missed. I would say if you can get to it, you should. It's pretty amazing.
I heard the same story. So yeah, December 1st, also Umbraco London Christmas party in Quiz. Edinburgh Umbraco user group will also have a Christmas edition on December 7th, and there's a Christmas social on Manchester and Northwest Umbraco meetup group on December 8th. Virtual Australian meetup group also. Yeah, and
just to mention, if you are in or around Odense next week, there is the Cloud user group meetup at Umbraco HQ, where our new InfoSec employee will be doing a talk there. I think it's called the Cloud user group, Cloud Odense user group.
Okay. Yeah. Is it on meetup.com? If so, we'll probably find it and also link it up on here. So
I'll find the link for you.
Cool. So yeah, definitely join the community in this special month and share knowledge and share ideas. There is a lot of discussions on the New Year's resolutions and ideas for the New Year's, and we will be trying to summarize it, of course, at our last episode this year, as usual, with our special guest Rune from HQ, as it would become a tradition, right, Rune? So definitely come up with these ideas and share them amongst the friends in the community. And you never know if some of the most craziest idea won't be turned into reality. Like, for example, making limited edition of coffee for umbraCoffee coffee. You never know. Jumping back to releases, couple releases to highlight from this week. Standard thing, Skybird release from Anders.
The Anders Bjerner Appreciation Hour is here.
Yeah. Is there a banner made for that one? Not yet, but it was mentioned that it's at Anders Appreciation Time. Alpha 2 of version 4 of Skybird Redirects. with the import functionality mentioned to be added here as a sub package of Umbraco Redirects package. So yeah, check it out. Even if it's alpha, we know it's pretty great as usual. So yeah, it's being used by many projects already. There is a new starter kit that I found today on the packages section, and it's called Reflection Starter Kit from Umbraco 11. And Omar is an author and package owner here. I haven't scanned through the exact features wise, but as we've mentioned and as we all know, each starter kit has its own ways of applying things and a lot of functionalities, but it seems like a pretty stable, pretty solid, pretty nice and clean starter kit as well.
Nice.
All of the functionalities are listed here, and it was released against the version 11 already, so it's really great to have it being
That's
tested.
awesome to see.
And yeah,
I can also. I don't think we've talked about this before, but the Umbraco starter kit.
yes.
The good old starter kit will also be updated for Umbraco 11 with
Nice.
the block list and block grid editor functionality in there as well. Long overdue overhaul of the starter kit. So that'll be available next week as well.
Oh, that's
just
great.
because we don't have enough releases there.
you were bored, and that was just came up as a side project, right? Yeah, but yeah. It was mentioned somewhere, and it's great to see it. But right now we have so many starter kits, and it's great because I always mention to my colleagues that I learn the most from learning how other people are doing things, and then it's like great to see this ways. And right now it's not the only one way of creating things, but you can install 5 different starter kits and basically decide what is your way, and then use it. So that's great.
And get it on the new marketplace, Omar.
Yeah. Omar, if you're watching,
there's a whole category for that.
Yeah, do it. Other release also from Anders and in this time Limbo namespace format, Limbo tables. And I must admit, I needed it a week ago. I completely missed it. But we were discussing tables in one of our projects, and there was a package for Umbraco 8, if I remember correctly. It was called Our Umbraco Tables, and it looked very, very similar to this. And now this one is for Umbraco 10 and beyond, of course. So still, there is a huge need of having more bespoke way of managing table data and tabular data, especially in the whole responsiveness world, and a lot of bigger, smaller tables, images, different content in the tables. And one of our clients really raised this as a concern, because TinyMC is great for tables. I love the way how TinyMC allows us to create tables, manage tables, but it's not enough for some of the really custom editors, custom content elements to be placed there. So.
I think something like this is great for specific purposes, right? As you said, TinyMC does a great job of handling that, but I think that's more in the context of copy, that you can make something that works well together with that. And like you can also do a lot with the block list or block grid editors, where you can actually create something similar depending on your needs, right? I've seen people create tables with the block list editor.
Block list?
Nested content back in the day. Because like columns and rows, it's just nesting things in a sense, right? So it can actually work quite well depending on what type of data and if you need to visualize it in a specific way and things like that. It can actually make a lot of sense to use those as well. But this looks awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So big kudos to Anders for releasing this against version 10. Sure. And I'm sure I will be checking this because again, the more ways, the better for us to find the best way. But it looks really great and really clean, and it reminds me the good old times when we were using this Our Umbraco Tables package, which was also doing the job perfectly fine. Other than that, just wanted to highlight some of the great work done on Hackathon last week as well. I spoke with a lot of people, Paul Seal included, after the Hackathon day, before the Umbraco Together event. There was a lot of work done there. People were very happy that they were hacking again. But now we can, thanks to Paul's mention as well, here we can see what was hacked there exactly. And this small feature was already merged to Umbraco 11.1. And will be released. So it seems like it's not only hacking, it's not only pull requests to do pull requests, but it's a really very valuable, nice features that will make our lives better. and will make our lives better straight ahead in the next release of Umbraco. So that's great to see this kind of very fast process of hacking, building things, verifying things, merging things, and releasing things, which made it all really nice and smooth. Right?
And speaking of hackathons, there'll also be a roundup of the Hacktoberfest hackathon very soon, or the entire Hacktoberfest, because we got so many great contributions there. A lot of them have already been released, and there's more coming with Umbraco 11 and 10.4. So yeah, awesome to see.
Yeah,
I think it's easier than ever to get things into the CMS.
Indeed. And we're sharing a big kudos also to the core team and also community teams that are helping to review and test it. It's like the process looks,
as well, for sure.
Yeah, the process looks extremely solid now, and that this is just a proof that this can be done really effectively and fast. Yep, so that's great. And 2 blog posts to highlight at the end of the episode. First from Morten about creating database tables in Umbraco. And I know it's still a needed feature and ability to really extend Umbraco in the custom ways. Also for those people who wants to see how Construct is doing it from Raspberry for package list. This is an alternative way. This is more a controlled code way of really creating migration, creating new table, and doing all of the code related stuff to make it happen. And I really like this way. I've been exactly discussing the same topic with a couple of the colleagues this week, and it seems like Morten did an amazing job, step-by-step definition of really what needs to be done to make it done.
Yeah, I actually got a preview of that blog post. He's my neighbor. And pedal buddy, so we talk quite a lot, but really well written and nice and easy way to understand the at least one of the ways you can handle the stuff, right? So really well done.
And we know that Morten is watching, so thanks, Morten, for highlighting this knowledge and sharing this knowledge with us, because it will be definitely used. And great to know that you are talking Umbraco through the paddle matches as well. So that's great. And second blog post is from Team Geisens, and it's about Umbraco form field types with custom client and server side validation. So I haven't made my head around this one, but I've been doing a lot of investigations of Umbraco forms custom functionalities. One of them was a really nice question, and I know that Warren is going to help me with some example on that one, which was a form submission done only once by a specific member, because that was one of the requirements that I had from the project, and I'm still curious how to do it. Some people shared the ideas, and Team also did. Of course, we know that Team was working a lot in forms area and the form context in the past, but this article is about validation of Umbraco forms fields, and it seems like there's a lot of also to learn and see how to do it, how it can be also done from the server perspective in the controller, in the forms API controller, and also from the client side. And we know how validation is important in some of the forms these days. So good to know. No need for additional JavaScript. No need to know. That's good. So check it out if you're dealing with forms a lot, and be sure to share your findings, and we will all try to learn from each other and implement it across our projects. And that's all for this week's episode. A lot of things. It was a small list when I was preparing that. It was really small. But fortunately enough, we had a lot to talk, and still there is a lot of hidden links and the things that you've mentioned both in your product update, also the cross-linking to the blog posts that are expanding the areas of specific topics. So be sure, for all of you who are hungry for more knowledge, be sure to check it out. I realized that next week we are starting December, so it will be 24 days blog post. There will be a lot of updates from you. December 1st, Umbraco 11, docs platforms, exciting
workflows coming out the week after.
Workflows. Crazy times. And of course, we will be highlighting it every week. So today, Rune, thank you very much for joining me and also sharing more context.
As always.
For everything what you are doing. Keep the tempo and speed, rocket speed of doing things like this, because then we will be able to talk about it a lot in the upcoming episodes. As I've said, we will catch up at the end of the year, also with Callum and you there to summarize and share some ideas on what's next in the big picture of everything Umbraco related.
It's always nice to look back at the year, what happened, and then take a little sneak peek at the next one. I might even have the last product update of the year out for our last umbraCoffee episode. So that'll be nice.
Yeah, nice. So thanks again, Rune. Thank you everyone for being with us today. Have a great rest of the day, weekend ahead, and as usual, we will see each other next week. Share your work, like, subscribe, do all of the other fancy, crazy Umbraco. And
happy Thanksgiving, I think, as well.
Oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving for the friends out there, and yeah, have fun. Share your work and catch up with all of you next week. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.